Hi everyone, this is Alan Franz, and thanks for joining me on Tuesday's Tips and Tricks for PowerPoint. So if you remembered last week, or if you watched last week's tip, we made some snowflakes. Those old paper cutout snowflakes that you used to do as a kid around Christmas time. Except we did it on PowerPoint. So that was kind of fun. Now what we're going to do is add all the 3 snowflakes on one slide and create a little animation to it. So without further ado, let's get started. What I'm going to do is add a new slide, get rid of these things, and then go and copy those snowflakes and paste them in to the new slide. What I want to do is make sure that they're grouped, and I'm hitting the shift key again, and I'm going to shrink that down. Alright, and we're going to copy the next one, group them, make sure that's grouped, copy it, bring it to the new slide by Control V, hit the shift key, click and drag that so it's becomes smaller. We're going to change this so it's a right, change it to a diamond. So I just do that by the rotate icon there. And then we're going to do the same thing with the final snowflake. Copy it, go to the new slide, Control V to paste, hit the shift key, shrink it down. There we are, and then I'll rotate it 90 degrees. There we are. That one's slightly bigger, which is okay because it's a different kind of snowflake. It's got a lot less to it, right? So now what we're going to do is add animation to these like they're blowing in the wind. But since they're blowing in the wind, they need to be hanging on something. So what we're going to do is add a piece of yarn, virtual yarn, in PowerPoint, and we're going to add a curve. So I'm just adding a curve, starting at the very top left corner, going to the top of each snowflake, and going to the top right corner and clicking, and then I hit escape to end the line. So there is our yarn. Now we have a white background and a blue snowflakes and blue yarn. And don't worry about that, we're going to change the color of it sooner or later, but probably at the very end we'll change the color of it. What we're going to do is we're going to just add a little animation here to show you what we're going to do. And I'm going to go to the animation pane and make sure that's showing, and then add animation, and we're going to make it teeter because we don't want it to do anything else, we just want it to teeter, so it looks like it's blowing in the wind. Alright, the problem here is animation, they all revolve around the center of the object that you're animating. Alright, so, and in this case we want it attached to the line that we have it taped to. So this animation is not working for us exactly the way we want. If it did, we would have to have the snowflake in the middle, and then it would be attached to the line. But that's not the case here. So we're going to fix that. So that won't be a problem. So what we're going to do is I'm going to select this snowflake, I'm going to duplicate it, and we're going to move it to the top of the other snowflake there, right on top of it. Alright, and then we're going to select both of the snowflakes right there and Control G, group them. Alright, now we're going to animate it and teeter. Now it's teetering over at the point of that line. See how it's not moving from the line. That's great, but now we have this extra snowflake up here. We don't want that. So what I'm going to do is we are going to select it, and then we're going to make it disappear. So we will do that. We'll go to the Design tab, Format Background, and we will make it so it goes away. And looks like I have to select all of it. And no fill. Hit the no fill and the line, no line, and there we have it. So we will test the animation one more time, and it's still working, so that's good. That's exactly what we want to see. And what we don't want to see. We don't want to see that other snowflake up there. So I'm going to do the same thing with this guy here. Duplicate that and move it up right to the top of the other snowflake. I want it perfectly aligned. If it's not perfect, it's okay. Okay, and then I'm going to select both those snowflakes, group them together, Control G, and then we're going to add that animation. And it's called Teeter. Good, it looks good. And then we're going to get rid of this snowflake here. And no fill, no line. Okay, and we're going to do the same exact for this one. Control D for duplicate, and we'll move that right on top of the other snowflake. Shift, select both the snowflakes, Control G to group them. And we're going to add an animation, Teeter. There it is, it looks good. And then we'll select this top snowflake. It looks like we have to select all the individual parts in that case. No fill, no line. Oh, it looks like we missed some of them. That's all right. We could just select it again. No fill, no line. There we go. So there we have it. All our snowflakes are animating now. And then we also want to go back into the animation. We're going to actually, let's do this for all of them with previous, so it doesn't take a click to do it. And then we're going to extend the duration and change the delay so they're not all going in uniform. So what we want to do is we will extend the duration to 2.5 seconds, and then we will change the delay by 1/2 second, and we'll just do this randomly because 1.1 second and then 1.4 seconds. Okay, so that's that, and then we want it to repeat, but there's no control up here to repeat. So what you do is just go in and double click on this, and then go into timing, and repeat is right here, and you want to do it until next click. All right, so repeat until next click, and we want to do that with all of them. Okay, so all right, I'm going to double click there and go into timing, repeat until next click, click OK, stop that, go double click on this other one, go into timing, repeat until next click. Now we can run this PowerPoint to make sure it looks exactly how we want it to. And it doesn't look like it's all happening together. It's a little bit random, so that's good. Yeah, I like it. Now all we have to do is change the colors. So what we'll do is we'll change the color of the background first. And we'll change that to a gradient. This is like a default gradient that you get selected here. And what we're going to do is change it to this gradient. And then we're going to select each of the snowflakes. I'm going to select them all at the same time. Do a solid fill. It's changing them to white. Now, here we have these other ones, and we don't want those to get a solid fill. So I'm going to hit Control Z, and I'm going to make sure that I have the bottom snowflake selected here when I change that to solid fill, and change it to white, and as well as the line on it. And I'm going to do the same with this. Solid fill is white, change the line to white, there we go. And on this one, now this one is in parts as well, so I need to make sure all the parts are selected. change the color, and once again change the color in the lines, and then obviously on the parts that I missed, and we're going to change it to white. Very good. So there is our snowflakes and our appropriate background, and then the blue line is kind of hard to see. We'll make that look red. So now it's on a red yarn, and we will change a little bit on the yarn as well. We're going to right click on that and edit points. We'll go here and we're going to add a point, and we're going to move that up a little bit so it looks like it's actually hanging. That's good, and that's good. And then we'll do the same for a point right here. We'll add that point. So it looks like the yarn is taped up on the wall or taped up somewhere. And there we have it. We have our stringer of snowflakes. And now what we'll do is run it so we can enjoy our handiwork. All right, very good. Well, this was today's tips and tricks for PowerPoint. All right, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please hit the like button down at the bottom or share, and have a great day. Thanks for joining me.